I start this?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, this is a home interview in Hammondsport, New York, the 30th of November 2006, approximately 11 a.m. Interviewers are Mike Russert and Wayne Clark. Could you give me your full name, date of birth, and place of birth, please?
Grant E. Covill, born March 27th, 1927, in Wellsville, New York.
Okay. What was your educational background prior to entering service?
High school.
And do you remember where you were when you heard about Pearl Harbor?
I was at home laying on the living room floor reading the funnies, the Sunday funnies. My parents were sitting in their respective chairs reading the paper, and the radio was on. And playing music. I don't remember what it was. And then all of a sudden the announcer said they break in for a special news announcement, and that was the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember your reaction when you heard about this?
I don't remember my reaction because I was
Yes, right.
I was just a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember what my father said. He says, "Oh my God, here we go again."
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you enlist or were you drafted?
I enlisted.
Why did you decide to enlist?
Well, I didn't want to go in the Army
Okay.
because I like the idea of sleeping between clean sheets and having 3 square meals a day.
All right, so that's why you picked the Navy, I guess.
Right.
Where did you go for your basic?
Sampson Naval Training Station.
How long were you there?
7 weeks.
What was it like at Sampson?
Hot. I remember the heat.
You were there then in summer.
During the summer.
Mhm.
Oh, it's unbearable. Of course, everybody I've talked to since then has said, well, it was just as cold in the winter as it was in the summer, as it was heat in the summer.
Okay. What kind of things did you do there during basic?
Well, the regular basic training,
Okay.
like everybody else.
All right. Did you go anywhere for specialized training after that?
No.
Where did you go from Sampson then?
Well, from Sampson, when I got through at Sampson, with my basic training, I was shipped home for a 2-week leave. They call it boot leave. And came back from that, stuck around for about 2 or 3 weeks in OGU, outgoing unit, and doing various jobs like, going to mess halls, working in the mess halls, and various other jobs. And then I got transferred from there to the submarine base in New London, Connecticut.
Was there a school down there that you attended? New London?
No. Well, there are schools, yes.
Mhm.
There was then, and there still is. But no, I did not attend any schools there. I was immediately put aboard the USS Apollo, which was a submarine tender.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, when I was assigned to the Apollo, I was given the opportunity, I don't know whether you call it opportunity or not, but I was put in the optical department of the repair ship. Now this repair ship has many, many, many different types of machine tools and various capabilities of repairing most anything that you want to think of in regards to the Navy. In the optical shop, they repaired submarine periscopes, binoculars, telescopes, anything that had optics, we repaired it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it got dropped on the floor, there it goes right back to the repair shop, because we don't know if any damage has been done.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then after the periscopes were checked out, repaired, checked out, and reinstalled on these submarines, then they would handpick various members of the optical shop to go on a shakedown, what they call a shakedown cruise, aboard the submarine. And we would go from the point of where we were, our point of origin, which was at the base. We go on down the river and out into Long Island Sound and make several tests about the periscope itself, see whether any of the seals, see whether any of the seals leak, or if the optics are in line, and so forth and so on. That was very interesting work.
Now, could I ask you, what kind of problems would they have with a telescope, periscope?
Periscope? Well, mostly it would be water leakage. Because you see, your submarines, I can tell it now, but back in those days you couldn't talk about it. The submarines could dive as deep as 350 feet. Now there's a lot of tremendous water pressure at that depth. And these periscopes had to withstand that depth.
Mm-hmm.
That is a crash dive depth. But most of them operated between 2 and 250. There wasn't any bother going any deeper unless you happened to be depth charged.
So you were in an OJT program, basically, on-the-job training?
More or less,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But that didn't last very long because there was a demand for it.
Okay.
Now, did you have, how long did it take to take a periscope out to repair it?
No, it depends.
Or did you just
Yeah.
do the seals, or did you have to take the whole thing out?
Well, when you take it apart, you have to replace the seals anyway,
Yes.
because you don't want to put
Right.
loose seals back
Right.
into a periscope. And the overall period of time would probably take about 3 or 4 weeks.
Now, did
Depending
you,
if
did you have to replace the lenses ever?
Oh yeah.
Or did you automatically
You
replace them?
automatically replace them. Yeah.
So you must have had a backlog of
Oh, yes.
lenses
Oh, yes.
and
Oh,
in
yes.
stock
Yeah.
and
Oh,
so
yes.
on.
At one time, we would have possibly anywhere from 6 to 10 submarines tied up alongside, waiting for work to be done, or waiting to have work done on board.
Was that a common problem with them leaking
Seal
periodically?
leakage, yeah, seal leakage. Yeah,
Now you were in the Atlantic?
Pacific.
Oh, you were in the Pacific? Okay, so did you have a home base there, or?
No. Home base is
Just-
always New London, Connecticut.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Now, when we went to our assigned designation, or our designated port where we were supposed to operate from, of course, we left New London, came down around Florida, back up, we left New London, stopped at New York, picked up a few supplies, and then continued on down around Florida and the Keys, and then the ship went up to New Orleans to pick up additional supplies that were not available at the previous locations. And then we continued on down through the Gulf. Another ship went through the canal up to San Diego. At San Diego, they picked up munitions, additional food supplies, things like that. And then from there, they went with an escort of 2 destroyers. The ship left San Diego and headed straight for Pearl Harbor. And funny thing, when they got about halfway across from between San Diego and Pearl, the ship had an alert. One of our destroyers, acting as our escort, said they spotted a blip on their sonar, and they didn't know what it was. So they took up chase. And come to find out, it was an enemy submarine. So they immediately gave the captain of our ship orders to head on a new heading, due north. That would take us out of it out of sight of everything. See? So we headed north, never saw a thing. But off in the distance we could, because these destroyers could travel 30 knots, about 15 knots faster than what we could do. And now way off in the distance, like say from here to Hammondsport or something like that, we could hear the depth charges going on. And so we figured they made contact. Mm-hmm. And when everything was all clear, we were ordered back into our real small escort and continued on to Pearl Harbor. We found out later that it was an enemy submarine, but we didn't know anything positive about that. So they figured they got it, but nobody knew. Mm-hmm. And we continued on to Pearl Harbor. And then from Pearl Harbor, we replenished the supplies, added more fuel and food, and everything else that we needed. Don't we receive mail too, which is a very absolute necessity. Mm-hmm. And we continued on to our final designation, which was Guam. We entered Naval Harbor, Guam, and dropped anchor and stayed there for 7 months. That was it. We stayed right there, didn't move. We received all of the submarines that required attention, repairs and resupply, and also rotate crews. And then they go on their way. And we just do the same thing day after day after day after day. After a while it got kind of monotonous. But then, after the 7 months was all up, the end of the war came. So we were told to go home. So we packed up our bags and went home. That was it.
You were never under attack at all when you were there?
No.
Guam was pretty secure.
No.
By then. How did they resupply did you resupply the submarines with food and supplies, or were there other supply ships that did that?
No, we supplied everything.
How about torpedoes?
Yes.
Carried.
We supplied them too. Mm-hmm. They were deep down in the hold of the ship, mm-hmm. out of sight, mm-hmm. out of mind, you know.
Yes.
What about refueling?
Refueling which?
The subs.
The subs? Mm-hmm. Those were done at the base where we were. Mm-hmm. Like say, if you're in Guam, the submarine, before it would leave the harbor, mm-hmm. it would go to the main base on land and get more fuel, and then take off.
Okay. I guess, how long would a submarine be next to you usually for repairs? I guess it depends on what's wrong with them.
Yeah, right. You're right. It depends upon the type of repair needed, mm-hmm. but it all averaged out to be about 3 or 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Now you must have had engine people and everything on board, then all these different specialists?
We had 5 complete machine shops. Mm-hmm. Everything that you can think of. Back in those days, everything we had was modern. Mm-hmm. Right. Today it's ancient. Yes. It's collector's items. Yeah. Then we had everything that you could possibly think of. We could even cast our own steel parts if it's needed. Now that takes some work. Mm-hmm. Like that would be just like having your own foundry.
Right.
But we could do it.
Did you get to see any sort of entertainment, USO shows? Or?
Oh yes, there's one picture in there in the albums that shows the Hawaiian hula dancer. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, we had entertainment come on board. Yeah, right. I think that was that picture there was supposed to be taken during one of the New Year's Eve celebrations. Uh-huh. And the captain said, "Well, we got to have some entertainment here."
Now,
so
did you
he contacted the U.S. Ocean group on shore, and they come out and they entertain us.
Now, being there that long, did you get movies and so on as
Oh yes,
entertainment?
oh yes, oh yes. We exchanged movies with other ships and also on the base.
Now, did submarine crews come aboard your ship at all? Or?
Well, constantly, because our repairmen would be aboard their
Right,
boats,
right.
and their crew, except for the on-watch crew, would come aboard our ship, and vice versa. And every once in a while, the members of those submarines, and also the members of our crew on board ship, would be granted leave. Of course, what's there to see on Guam? Nothing,
Right.
except the Navy enlistments, and the dodo birds.
All right. Did you ever have many injuries on your ship at all?
No, we had fully,
Didn't know if you had accidents or
no, minor
minor. Okay.
stuff like this. No. We had a fully equipped pharmacist area, and also a fully equipped medical area that would take care of anybody who has an emergency, like appendicitis or tonsillitis or something like that. And our physicians were very, very good.
Now, what was daily life like on your ship, for example?
No, reveille was generally around 6 o'clock. And get out and have chow, come back up, and if we had work to do in the shop where we'd do it, when that would get done, we'd just lounge around, do nothing. Go down to the library or down the ice cream parlor or wherever.
Now, when you were at Guam and you did repair, for example, you replaced a periscope, did you go on a shakedown cruise then too?
I never did personally, but the other guys who had that were senior over me did.
Now, did you yourself or your crew, was most of your work on your ship, or did you do it on the submarine?
On the ship.
On the ship.
We'd physically take the periscope out of the submarine and somehow get it twisted around so we could bring it up through the hatch, the main hatch, through the conning tower, and take the periscope, and then when we get it up above the conning tower, we take it, lay it down horizontally, and then pick it all up at the same time, both top and bottom ends, and bring it up onto the pathway alongside it. Well, I'll probably show you better if you had the photographs. And then just glide it right in to the shop, because our shop, the optical shop, had a double door on one end. You'd open up both doors, you can bring whatever you got outside right into the shop. And those periscopes were approximately 50 feet long.
How
Oh, really?
How much did they weigh approximately?
Gosh, I couldn't tell you. I would have
Now,
no idea.
how was this all done with winches and...
Winches and chain falls and everything else, yeah.
Okay.
Everything we can grab our hands onto. And sometimes we use those too.
Okay. Interesting. I guess, do you have any other questions on that?
No. Do you want to show us some of the photographs now? Or?
Oh, what were your officers like? Were they, did you have engineers, or they have an engineering background, or?
Well, they'd have to.
Yeah, okay.
The officers in charge of our optical shop, he was a full lieutenant, and he was the only officer that we had that was in charge of the shop. The other that were in command, you might say, is chief petty officers. And then from there, you just go right on down the ladder. I was on the bottom of the ladder.
Did you have any warrant officers still?
No, not in our shop. We weren't big enough to warrant officers. No.
Okay. Now, when you returned back to the States, well, first of all, before you returned, you were out there in Guam when you heard that the dropping of the atomic bombs.
Yeah, we were at Guam.
How, what was the reaction to that?
Well, I don't know, I think it was mixed.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a mixed reaction throughout the whole trip. Everybody just happened to think, give it serious thought, that, well, maybe it's all over now.
Mm-hmm.
You can all go home. But then when he found out that at first it didn't take one, it took two,
Mm-hmm.
then we're definitely knew we were going home.
Now, when you left Guam, did you head straight back to the States?
Well, we left Guam, went to Pearl,
Okay.
picked up more fuel and supplies. And we just retraced our route that we went out, all the way back.
Mm-hmm. So, what did you do for the last year of service, approximately?
Practically nothing.
Were you still in New London for that time period? In New London, Connecticut, until you were discharged?
Yes. The Apollo was placed in reserve after a few months at the end of the war. And most of the crew had been shipped out for discharge. I wasn't one of them, because I was still on the bottom of the totem pole. And the whole ship and what crew was left was put on emergency call because of the Cold War. So we were automatically classified as, well, we were in the group to fight the Cold War if necessary. So there we were stuck. We spent the next 6 or 10 months after the war was over, under the direction of taking care of the Cold War, if it ever happened.
Okay, when were you discharged?
August of '46,
Okay.
so I was in the Cold War.
All right.
Didn't mean anything, no, didn't mean a thing.
Did you ever make use of the GI Bill?
Oh yeah, I went to college after that, when I got home. Went to college over to Alfred University, and stayed around long enough, got my degree.
Okay. Did you ever use the 5220 Club?
No, yes, I'd like to know a serviceman or ex-serviceman that didn't.
I've heard of a couple, unfortunately, never used it.
Well,
Did you max it out?
I maxed it right out just as much as I could.
Okay. Did you join any veterans organizations?
Yes, I joined the American Legion in 1946, very shortly after I got out. I've been a member of the American Legion now for, well, ever since I joined in '46. It's 60 years ago.
60 years, yeah.
Okay. Did you ever stay in contact with anyone that was on the ship with you?
I haven't been able to find anybody. They've either moved, left no forwarding address, or they're all dead. I don't know. More chances of that happening. They're all passed away. It's very good.
Now you are active at Sampson, though.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
when I can.
Right. Okay. How do you think your time in the service had an effect on your life?
Well, you could take that question and turn it around and say, would you do it all over again? Of course, my answer to that is, you can't change history. If you wanted to change it and do it differently, you'd be changing history. And if I did that, I wouldn't have this here now. And you people would not be sitting here.
Right.
And yeah, it has affected my life, because I look back on my enlistment in the Navy. I kind of, after it's all over with, I kind of wish I had been smart enough to stay. Now I have a grandson who's in the Navy. He's a lieutenant. He's a photographers up on the fireplace mantel. And he's a lieutenant now, I think I said that, yeah. And right now he's stationed in Norfolk. He's just waiting for his ship to be built. Brand new ship. He'll be a plank owner when he goes aboard. Plank owner means you're one of the original crew. And he is guaranteed to be the navigation officer on that ship.
What ship is it?
The USS Sampson.
Oh, really?
Unbelievable, huh? How fate
Yes.
turns things around.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very happy where he is, and he enjoys the life he's chosen. I said, well, I'm glad you chose that, because I was going to knock the guy out of you if you didn't. Let's keep up the tradition.
Okay, here's some photographs to show us.
Yeah, his grandfather, my father, was in the Navy. I was Navy. Now he's Navy. I said, come on, let's keep it going.
Well, you don't have to take them out. Well, I guess
No, you don't have to.
you can hold them just like that. That was you.
That's me. I'm home on leave.
December
1945. That was right after I got home from, well, we pulled into New London, and everybody was granted leave to go home. No, not everybody, 2/3 of the crew.
Whatever happened to that Buick?
Yeah, I wished I had that Buick. 1942 Buick Roadmaster.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And I guarantee it'll do 120 miles an hour.
Well, I'm sure.
Because I
Please
drove
focus
it.
on that. What other photos? Now, you have some photos of your ship?
No, there are photographs of it.
Yes.
There it is right there.
Okay.
It's a USS Apollo AS-25.
Now, do you remember where this one was? Okay,
That was taken-
Guam, okay.
That was taken at Apple Harbor, Guam.
Okay.
And this is a sister ship?
Yes, that's hers. That's her sister ship. I've got a better photograph hanging on the wall in my bedroom. That's a bows-on photograph. I got one
Now,
that's...
you sometimes had the submarines on both sides of you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
How many could you service at one time?
5.
Looks like there's about 8 in this one. 5, okay.
Yeah, the others are probably waiting too.
Mhm.
Those are taken up at New London. They've been mothballed, and
Oh, this is when you returned.
yeah,
Right, these are all mothballed submarines in New London,
They-
taken from the deck?
taken
I think
from
it says here.
taken from the deck of the Apollo.
Yeah.
If I got caught using a camera, taking those photographs, I probably would have ended up in Leavenworth.
Now, what kind of camera did you have?
Oh, just a little brownie, Kodak brownie.
Okay.
No,
There's some of my,
no, are you in this photograph?
no,
This is some of the men in your shop?
yeah.
Okay.
You re-edit this, do you?
No.
You don't.
Raw footage.
I better watch my language.
Okay, now here's 2 more of your shop.
Yeah.
Where are you in this one? I see you're in this one up here on top.
Yeah, this is me over here, and on the right here again.
Okay. It's here.
Okay. Okay.
And where those guys are now, I don't know. Lost contact. That's at the New Year's Eve party. Well, that's the captain of our ship. He and his wife.
This isn't on the ship, I don't think, is it?
Yes,
Is it really?
it's on the ship,
We had it on the ship, oh, when you returned and...
in the mess hall.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the captain threw a New Year's Eve party. I don't know.
Okay,
it's
we're
good,
good.
It's good. Have it for me if this... Was I in there? Yeah, there I am. I was on desk duty.
This is 1945 New Year's Eve parties right here.
Okay.
And one of the special treats on board.
Yeah, right. That's part of the entertainment show that was on that New Year's Eve party. A Hawaiian hula girl.
Okay.
And is this is you here?
Yeah, this is me here, drunk.
October 1945?
Yep.
Okay.
2 months after VJ Day. That's a pen and ink sketch of a German U-boat that was captured off the coast of Africa. Intact. Is that the 505?
No, it's 850.
Oh, 850, okay.
Okay.
Now, who made that drawing?
I did.
You did, it was in the harbor?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was tied up alongside one of the piers. The rest of that are just collectible knickknacks.
Okay. All right, well, thank you very much.